This story just keeps on getting crazier, but I guess that's to be expected when you're dealing with one of these Looney Tunes. Now, we've been talking about this Jared Ravizza fella, and I call him a fella, but he wants to go by she, her pronouns. That's important, folks. Listen, when covering a story like this, it's always important that we note the person's pronouns. Not because we want to respect their identity, but because the world needs to know that these are the pronoun people who are committing these crazy crimes. Now, we know that Jared went on that slicing spree at the AMC. We know that he went on a Rampage at McDonald's. Now we know that allegedly he may have killed his older roommate and the roommate's dogs. But before any of this happened, apparently Jared creepily inserted himself into a photo shoot with this model that we're about to talk about today. And he creepily proposed to her. And that's one thing that you have to understand when it comes to these dudes who pretend to be women. A lot of them aren't gay at all. A lot of them are just really creepy. They're really perverted. And if you look into things, half of these trans dudes, they wind up identifying as lesbians. So they can't get laid, right? They can't get laid as a straight man. So then they try to become a woman and claim to be a lesbian in hopes of getting laid, in hopes of getting a pity lay from one of these weirdos that want to virtue signal, right? So that's the latest creepy attempt that these incels and stuff are using to try to get women. Now, when it comes to Jared, I don't know terribly too much about this guy's life. But we do know that he's absolutely insane. And obviously we know the crime spree that he went on. But I'm wondering, how long did he identify as this or that? You know what I mean? Because for a lot of these people, it's like the flavor of the week. One month I'm going to identify as this, the next month I'll be that. And it's just absolutely insane to try to keep up with. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and figure out what's going on with this model. A designer and model feels blessed to be alive after rebuffing a creepy marriage proposal from Jared Ravizza, who now stands accused of slashing 6 people in unprovoked attacks in Massachusetts last weekend. Aliona Shikova, age 30, was holding a photo shoot for her Ashik clothing brand on April 14th at the Beverly Hills Hotel when she came across Jared Ravizza, who is also suspected of killing a 70-year-old man in Connecticut. Shikova says that Ravizza weaseled his way onto her photo shoot before he began hitting on her, proposing almost immediately and suggesting that they should have kids together. He said, "I'm going to be a good husband. You're going to be a good wife. You're going to be my wife." Shikova recalled, "I think he liked me, and he was used to getting whatever he wanted. I couldn't imagine at that moment what he was capable of," she added. "I am still in shock after reading about what he has done. I honestly feel blessed to be alive. There are so many crazy people. We have to be really, really careful. You never know." Shikova, an accomplished designer and graduate of Russia's Ural Federal University, said Ravizza waltzed onto her set last month and promised he could help promote her brand with what he claimed was a huge online audience and connections to the Hamptons in New York and other glamorous places. Although wary of the man, Shakova took him up on his offer and allowed him to model her clothes, with two of them appearing in one of her Instagram videos wearing matching pink hoodies with the caption, "Never ever be basic." Ravizza, who sports distinctive blonde locks, then invited her to the hotel pool. And it was then the casual meeting turned unsettling and ominous. We just met, and he was already proposing and promising me a lot of things right away. It was just weird. Ravizza allegedly started to tout his wealth, showing her pictures of him and his father, who he said has just been on a vacation in Hawaii. The man also showed off different houses he claimed that he owned around the world. He said he had a few houses everywhere in Malibu, the Hamptons, and other places, she added, with Ravizza allegedly offering to help her open stores for her clothing brand in those cities. Shakova said she ultimately felt uncomfortable with Ravizza's advances and left the hotel, only texting him a couple of times afterwards to reach an agreement on which photos and videos she would post of them to promote her brand. She said that she never spoke to Ravizza again, only learning about his unhinged alleged attacks after seeing his picture on the news and speaking with reporters. At the time, he was dressed like a man. He wasn't wearing any makeup or nail polish, Shakova said, referencing Ravizza's recent Instagram photos where he adopted a more feminine appearance and changed his name. In moments like this, I just feel it's such a gift to be alive, Shakova added on Instagram. So, isn't that kind of weird? From what this woman says, when she met him back in April. Now listen, folks, April was not that long ago. Now, when it comes to the news cycle, it seems like a lifetime ago because so much has happened since April. But back in April, apparently he was presenting himself like a straight dude. He's here at this photo shoot. I mean, he still looks kind of off, but he's at this photo shoot, hitting on this model, making her all of these promises, acting like he's got all of these homes around the world, all of this stuff. And in this short time period, from April to now, he changes his name, starts dressing like a woman, starts wearing makeup, starts painting his nails, changes the pronouns to she, her, and then goes on a freaking insane spree. Now, my question is, did he start identifying as a woman once he started having this psychotic breakdown that led to this violent spree? We don't know. But what we do know is that this woman is probably lucky to be alive. Because I don't know what he had planned for her, but I'm sure that if she stuck around, that she might have been one of those victims. Because it was clear that Jared was going after women. And I believe it's probably because he was jealous that he's not a woman. But who knows what the motive is? All we know is that this is a sick freak. A sick freak whose actions have been kind of put on hush by the mainstream media. And as I explained to you all in the past, and in plenty of videos in the past, the media has a way of reporting on things, but not putting it out there, not blasting it out there, right? If they wanted you to hear about this story, you would have heard about it. But instead, we're hearing about things that don't even matter, right? But something tells me that this is not the end of this story, because there's just so many layers here, and it keeps getting crazier. Luckily, Jared is behind bars now, but he has not been officially charged with the murder of his roommate. So I don't know how long they would hold Jared, in all reality, for what he did at the movie theater and what he did at McDonald's. Now, you would think, though, we're going to lock this guy away for life. He's a danger to everyone, a threat to everyone. But in today's day and age, they're letting violent criminals out on the street, you know? And, of course, because of this guy's identity, you know, he's more likely to get off. But then that raises another question. Did Jared know that? Did Jared know that he wanted to do some violent, crazy stuff? So he started identifying as a woman before he did it? Because he knew that the likelihood of him being thrown into a woman's prison was very likely? Or did he think that maybe he would get a lighter sentence if he did get caught? I don't know. There's so many factors here. There's so many different things that we could discuss. But for now, let's have that discussion down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and always remember to remain opinionated.